Understanding whether employees qualify for overtime pay is a critical compliance issue for businesses of all sizes. The exempt salary test under the Fair Labor Standards Act determines which employees are entitled to overtime compensation and which are exempt. Misclassifying workers can lead to significant legal and financial consequences. The exempt salary test consists of 3 essential components that must all be satisfied for an employee to be properly classified as exempt from overtime requirements. These components are the salary basis test, the salary level test, and the job duties test. Let's start with the salary basis test, which examines how an employee is paid. To meet this test, an employee must receive a predetermined fixed salary that doesn't fluctuate based on the quality or quantity of work performed. Unlike hourly workers, salaried employees receive the same payment amount each pay period, regardless of hours worked, as long as they meet their employer's expectations. The key characteristic of the salary basis is consistency. An exempt employee's base pay should remain constant regardless of variations in work hours. If your pay changes based on how many hours you work in a pay period, you're likely not properly classified as exempt. There are limited situations where deductions from a salaried employee's pay are permissible without violating the salary basis test. These include absences for personal reasons lasting 1 or more full days, disciplinary suspensions for workplace misconduct, unpaid FMLA leave, and partial weeks worked at the beginning or end of employment. The second component is the salary level test, which establishes a minimum earnings threshold for exempt status. As of the most recent update, employees must earn at least $47,476 annually or $913 weekly to qualify for exemption. This threshold is scheduled to increase in 2024, with the Department of Labor proposing a new minimum of $55,068 annually, or $1,059 weekly. The rule also includes automatic updates every 3 years, based on wage data, to ensure the threshold keeps pace with economic conditions. For highly compensated employees, the threshold is even higher. The proposed 2024 rule would raise this level to $143,988 annually. It's important to note that several states impose higher salary thresholds than federal standards. California requires a minimum salary of twice the state minimum wage, which will reach $66,560 annually for larger employers by 2025. New York, Washington, and Colorado also maintain higher thresholds that vary by region or are tied to minimum wage rates. When state and federal requirements differ, employers must follow whichever standard provides greater protection to employees. This means applying the higher salary threshold when operating in states with more stringent requirements. Even if an employee passes both salary tests, they must also satisfy the job duties test to qualify as exempt. The FLSA recognizes 3 primary categories of exempt duties: professional, administrative, and executive. The professional duties exemption applies to employees whose work requires advanced knowledge in a field of science or learning, typically acquired through specialized education. Doctors, lawyers, teachers, registered nurses, accountants, and architects generally fall under this category. Creative professionals like artists, writers, and musicians may also qualify if their work requires invention, imagination, or talent. The administrative duties exemption is often the most challenging to apply correctly. It covers employees whose primary duties involve office or non-manual work, directly related to management or general business operations. The key factor is that these employees must exercise discretion and independent judgment on significant matters. Human resources managers, payroll directors, and compliance officers typically meet this standard. The executive duties exemption applies to employees whose primary duty is managing the enterprise or department, and who regularly direct the work of at least 2 full-time employees. They must have authority to hire, fire, or significantly influence personnel decisions. Department heads and supervisors often qualify for this exemption. Certain occupations receive special treatment under the FLSA. Outside sales employees are exempt regardless of salary if they regularly work away from the employer's place of business. Computer professionals may be exempt if they earn at least $27.63 per hour and perform systems analysis or programming work. Employers frequently misunderstand exemption requirements, incorrectly assuming that paying a salary or assigning a managerial title automatically confers exempt status. However, actual job duties, not job titles, determine exemption eligibility. Assistant managers who primarily perform manual work rather than management functions are often misclassified. The consequences of misclassification can be severe. Employers found in violation may owe back pay for unpaid overtime for up to 3 years, plus an equal amount in liquidated damages. They may also face civil penalties and be responsible for employees' attorney fees if litigation occurs. To maintain compliance, employers should conduct periodic internal audits of employee classifications, review state-specific requirements annually, and document job duties thoroughly. When the Department of Labor updates salary thresholds, businesses should proactively evaluate their workforce to determine whether to adjust salaries or reclassify affected employees. Understanding and correctly applying the exempt salary test is essential for legal compliance and avoiding costly penalties. By carefully evaluating all 3 components, salary basis, salary level, and job duties, employers can properly classify their workforce and maintain compliance with both federal and state overtime requirements.